Go ahead. You want to start it?
Well, maybe today we talk about jealousy.
That's hilarious. I don't know if you could.
You know why?
What do you think about? See, okay. What do you think? What are your thoughts on jealousy?
Well, my friends, I'm going to tell them why.
Okay.
Emmy was jealous that Leslie is hanging out with our cousin.
Leslie, my girlfriend.
The one time. But he's jealous because he doesn't want to lose his cousin. Not because Leslie is out there. Has nothing to do with Leslie and who she is as a person. She's great, amazing. Nothing to worry about. No biggie. Also the cousin. Well, why are you jealous?
Because she's stealing my cousin. He's my cousin. I don't hang out with him. I hang out with him.
Adopting him.
I hang out with him once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe.
She's not adopting him though as her cousin. Don't you want?
No, she is. She is. She is. She is. She's like, that's my cousin now. Yeah, it's okay.
Was it just him?
I have enough cousins to go around.
Or is it any cousin? Like if all of a sudden she and I started hanging out.
I think it would be if it was, again, because I told you I feel weird about it. Look at this motherfucker. Like when Jared started dating. It's weird. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. When Jared started dating this one girl, I got defensive, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, who is this girl? Whatever."
Yeah, but what if that's just good radar? Leslie and I were talking about that. Well, I can't. Leslie's not here, but I'll tell you, I don't think I have the good radar for every person. I think I know for sure, I give people the benefit of the doubt way too much.
Yeah.
So then you felt that about this girl. She didn't make it, right?
No, she didn't make it.
Didn't last.
We're not cool with her.
You've met boyfriends of mine.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that kind of a vibe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I didn't. Well, no, actually.
Well,
like that? Like that?
Yeah, like that level.
Like I thought he was stealing my cousin. No, I just thought he was a fucking weirdo.
The girlfriend you met that you didn't like of our cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was different because I think with this,
like you didn't like
this
her
one
at all.
person, I was friendly because I'm always friendly to whoever my family brings around. In my head, it's like if you love this person,
yeah,
I'm gonna love them because that's just how I operate.
Oh, I have a different vibe. I have a different feeling about that. But go ahead, you first. And
so
I gave
her the benefit of the doubt, you know. But after a while, not after a while, actually. Initially, what it was, it's still weird. Like, who is this girl? It's so stupid. What the fuck, dude? I'm fucking retarded.
No,
it's just that
you can't help how you're feeling.
I don't say these things. The cats are fighting behind you. It's hilariously.
They're jealous too.
Yeah. My initial reaction to. I think it's just with Ruben, Jared, and Misael that I get defensive. I don't know why.
You guys know. I wasn't gonna say.
I don't think I don't know. I don't know what it is because we barely.
They're
hang
your
out.
crew, though.
Yeah.
You guys grew up together, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a special bond that's different than you and I hanging out. That's different.
Yeah.
We didn't grow up together that way.
Yeah. I didn't get defensive about any boyfriends that you would bring around. I just kind of.
It's just them.
Yeah, they just sucked, kind of. One of them,
they did.
One of them, I didn't get to really hang out with. More recent one, but one of them, when I was working with you, I got to spend quite a bit of time with him when we were working, and he was hanging around, and I just couldn't stand that guy.
I had no idea.
It was, and I wasn't the only one. Other people that met him. Or have talked to him, have told me like this guy is something else.
I had no idea. Why don't you guys tell me this? You know how
because
much
you liked him.
I did. I don't think he loved him.
He wasn't
Both
a bad guy.
No,
He just sucked. Some people just suck, dude. Some people just suck.
Do you think? Well, I don't know. Obviously, we didn't make it.
Some people carry this weight on them.
Yeah, he definitely did.
And like. It's not like it's not easy to do this, but you kind of have to not throw that on to people, right?
Yeah, he would. I know who you're talking about. So, yes, there was this pressure with him on himself and on others to like, I wouldn't say to change the world, but there were certain social assertion. There was assertions.
There were assertions. Put that on a t-shirt.
English on that. There were certain aspects of the way that he thought that it was like this compulsion for social justice, right?
Yes. And good for him.
What you're saying.
You know, good for him. Like people, here we are. I hate this. Here we are. I hate when I don't hate it. I'm hyperbolizing. It bugs me when people feel like they have to carry the world's weight on their shoulders, and it's like, I think that's kind of what it is. You know, it's like there's much more to the world than just whatever is happening, and when to I don't know, and like in that kind of realm of the world, I guess. I mean, like, what do you like to do? You know what I mean? Like, if that's what, if all you like to do is read about the news and
that's what you're going to talk
how
about,
this and how that, and I just can't vibe with people like that.
Well, one thing that's funny that I've realized when you start meeting someone for the first time, and this is something I picked up on with the ones you're talking about, in their own way, where they're going to talk about what they feel the most comfortable talking about to connect with you for the first time. Right?
Yeah.
But also with this person that you're mentioning, it was a big part of his life. Like he was involved in community in that way.
Yeah, I was a lot younger too, so I just didn't know what to do with that information.
It was too much.
But I think I did well at just playing along, because I
didn't know.
That was a point in my life where like I wanted to learn about that stuff.
You did.
Like I was like, fuck it, let's see what I can learn. Yeah. I remember like I didn't watch the news. I didn't watch anything of what was going on in the world at that time. And I remember telling you like, oh, I subscribed to CNN on Twitter.
Oh no!
To start watching the news. Yeah. And that, so I mean, because I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know how. You know? It's like, how do you watch the news? Okay,
yeah, how do you watch the news?
CNN, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
that was like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, and
it is true that with that particular boyfriend, we never ran out of things to talk about. It's that conversation. We really we used to joke that. Well, I used to joke that we matched on the inside because of those topics and others. We would talk about everything and anything, and nothing was off limits. There was a little bit of like a block, I remember, because, did that mess you up?
No.
That's good. Okay. There was a little bit of a block because, like always, there's like this newness for the way that you and I were brought up, where we kind of have our feet in both worlds. So there was like a learning curve there with him because he's Black American. And for him to understand where our families come from, you almost have to understand and get to know our culture a little bit for them to understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, I think so.
You know?
And I think that's
probably what...
Yeah, there was just a disconnect there.
For sure.
Because one, I just wasn't involved in any of those conversations. And then also... I don't know. It just felt like it was heavy.
It is. And we're not really connected. We're not as connected as the Black community here is to our entire history of the U.S. because our families came not even a century ago. Like our first family members, my grandfather did, but then he ended up getting married and raising a family in Mexico.
Yeah, I think my grandpa was here too for some time.
Right, but they didn't stay. That was back when the work program was more open and they could go back and forth. So they would come to work but they would come back to, or go back to Mexico and raise their families there. They weren't stuck here, right?
Yeah, that's when.
Now it's different.
Yeah, you can't just be going back and forth.
No. So in fact, my dad was the first of our family of the generations, not the first guy, but
set up camp here.
Right. That generation was the first. And now what is that? That doesn't, we're learning about the history of the country before. So even our ancestral history, the connection we have to this country is not the same as a Black person whose, ancestry is America's history.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's so different. So then he had to really learn about that. It was very, I think it was eye-opening for him, for me to talk about issues where I was detached.
But I think it was the same thing.
I don't feel the white guilt, even though I'm white skinned, and that was an issue there. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him telling me that I was white, and I remember just playing along.
You're like, am I? No, de veras. Achis.
But I remember playing along, and this is kind of when like I was like, I'm not interested in these conversations. When I was like, I just went full on. It's like, I'm a white person. I don't even want to be considered colored. I'm like, it's easier to be a white person just to fuck with him because that's like
to mess around.
I just don't.
Yeah, well,
and that was not cool of me to do that. Like, I don't care.
Oh,
it's just not. It's not.
It's fine. Yeah. I think it's a thing we're talking about where.
Very rude. I've grown as a person.
I think that's natural, though, right? Yeah. What are we going to be perfect all the time? Some of those conversations help to change us, right? In that case, well, I there was definitely love there, but the family thing, the racial thing was an issue in our relationship. Not between us, but
other people in the
right?
families.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like speaking of jealousy, I wonder if there is some sort, like, I feel like I have felt a sort of, at times in my life, I have felt jealous of people that have been here for more generations.
Really?
Because I do feel that it is easier. If after you've been here for a couple generations, you kind of have the system down a little bit better. You understand do this and this and this, and then you know what I'm saying, and that's how you.
Yeah, you're not going in cold like we did.
Yeah,
like we didn't even know. Our parents didn't know to help us with our SATs.
Yeah, we did that all ourselves. We did that all ourselves. I was like signing myself up for fucking 4th grade and 5th grade and stuff. I was doing all those. I was doing all those all that paperwork myself. You know,
our
like
parents didn't go that far, but yeah,
I could have signed up. I could have taken all the honors classes and all that shit, but I was like, I'm just gonna take basic English, and basic math, like when I was in high school and shit.
That's so unique to you, though. Yeah. Although, okay, here, this is where then we can get into the nuance of our individual experiences. But I did not know we were lacking support because we thought we had it good. Like our parents supported us going to school. My sister and I both went to college.
Yeah.
And so the thing that I didn't realize until later, now that Abby's growing up in the school system,
2nd gen,
where I'm hearing other parents, you know, the people that know what they're doing.
You're like, oh, you're supposed to do that?
Oh.
Yeah?
Like helping them with applications, like full in there, helping them with projects. And I'm like, oh no, that's her homework.
Right, because you did that. You did that yourself a lot of times.
We had to do it ourselves. Grizel and I would help each other study, but we didn't have there was a language barrier there first. And my dad had a better handle on the language and math, but he was working during the time that the shifts didn't jive, right? He couldn't help us.
Right.
Like we didn't have the same schedule. So
right.
And my mom
but also they worked their asses off.
For sure.
Right? I mean, you don't want to come home and I don't know.
My dad's super intelligent. It has nothing to do with that. It was just practical. And we were expected to do well in school. And my mom's helping, which worked, was if something's up, you listen to your teacher. Like you better get your grades up. Like that was expected.
Yeah.
But then we had to do the back end stuff of, you know, if we had to go to a counselor or whatever it was, we had to do that ourselves. Like we weren't taken.
Well, how were they supposed to know that those things are available?
No, they wouldn't. That's my point. So, I didn't know. I didn't even know.
But it's to me like, see, that's interesting because I still went to like a private school. Yeah. So like I think I still had a better education. Unfortunately, it didn't get put to use than like a lot of public schools here. Public schools fucking suck. From what I've heard, and actually from my experience in public school, like
you're talking about I did where both. You grew up. Let's clarify because I know for sure, especially Grizel,
let's say CPS
teachers.
Probably CPS sucks, right?
Yeah, the CPS system here, if you're in a nice neighborhood, it's tax base. So if you live in a place that has better taxes or higher tax rates, then you're going to get better schools. That's basically how it works. So if you're not in we have a lottery in the hopes that your child will get into a good school versus where you live. Yeah. So we don't have to say enough about that. We've filled people in. Done. Next. So go to a place where my sister works. Those are public schools, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the best in the nation. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing all right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, so then.
Even Abby's school is solid. Like we're like just bordering Chicago. Yeah,
That's so crazy. So yeah, Chicago sucks. Then the Chicago public schooling fucking sucks. So I mean, I would still, I think that's like the best thing that my parents did for me. That is very much like trying to solidify my understanding of how I can get ahead.
Yeah,
living in this country, right? I mean, it's like because. I don't know, dude. I look back at my time in elementary school as like the most important, and that's probably because I didn't go to college, right? But
college was better.
Yeah,
missed out.
Because
you take the classes you want. I feel like you suffer through. This is just my experience, okay? But if you don't know sometimes it can be a drag.
Yeah.
That the way that So once you get to college and you really are picking and really exploring what you like, it becomes more. Well, for me, it was way better. Go ahead. Tell me about your...
I don't know what I was going to say.
I know I derailed.
Let's cut to a commercial break.
I'm not sorry.
No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I didn't... I'm very lucky that I got to go to fucking St. Viator because I think it did, like, they taught me... I remember, like, the teachers there, dude. Like,
they were teaching you. They were invested.
They were invested. And Schurz High School was across the fucking alley.
Oh,
and there was this teacher that straight up, I remember like it was like she was both 7th and 8th grade science teacher. She'd be like, "You guys better get your grades up. If not, do you want to end up over there?" Like if it was the worst thing ever to go from St. Viator's to Schurz High School.
Well, I have a story about Schurz, and I'm not going to name names. It doesn't matter. But we had cousins that went there, and I went to translate one time, and they were having trouble with this one teacher. And I didn't know, but I went in and I'm like, well, why don't you show me like what's happening? And she showed me her ledger and comparison. And I'm like, oh, I think I see the problem here. And I told my cousin, I'm like, I think she's actually trying to teach them. And these kids aren't used to it.
You're actually a good teacher.
She's actually a good teacher. Yeah.
I think I had.
But how do you do that in a system where, and isn't that like, imagine, we haven't talked about this at all. You and I both I went to private school also, and then whatever. So I've not really talked about this with cousins that haven't had that opportunity, because then, to see if there's like a jealousy there. I hope not.
I don't think so. Well, I'll say this.
Because I think they're pretty amazing and capable.
I have the experience of going to both Catholic school and public school.
Yeah.
And public school sucks, dude. I literally so I went to Garin Prep freshman and sophomore year, which is
all kinds
Catholic
of names,
school.
aren't you?
Yeah, it's not there anymore. Garin Prep is gone because I think somewhere along the line got caught one of the students. There's some crazy stuff happened. So that school is gone. It's like
it should
in the
be
ground.
gone if
It
that
demolished.
happens.
I think they're building condos on it now. Typical Catholic school behavior, if you ask me. So cliche. So
we're gonna just put a disclaimer here. This does not represent all of our views. I'm not talking about world here. I'm talking about our own family members who I care about, who don't want.
So Garin,
to get offended.
We took 9 classes a day, and it was like, I think each class was like 45 minutes. You had like 4 minutes, not even 5. They give you 4 minutes to get to your next class.
Yeah.
And whatever, you were just running through classes and teachers and everything, And then I went to Morton for junior year, and I was taking 4 classes a day. And for some reason, I was able to put myself in like Algebra 1 or English, whatever. And, again, like what the classes that I already took.
You just retaking it.
At Morton, and the teachers.
I understand.
The teachers did not care. Well, some of them actually noticed, like, why are you here in this class right now?
You put yourself in those classes,
of course. And I would, dude. Some of the teachers hated me because I slept. In Morton East, dude, I slept most of the school.
But then that means they lowered their expectation, like school wide. Right?
100%. It's just, it sucks. And here's the thing, dude. It's I can put the blame on myself, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was like, I think I was still a kid. I was 16, 17 years old. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like at that age, you still need an adult to be like,
Yes.
hey bro,
Yes.
no,
At least
you
a touch
can't
point.
be here.
Yeah.
You gotta move on to the harder
Right.
class. Or if you're sleeping in class, hey, wake up. What
Don't
are you
be
doing?
sleeping
Don't
in
be
class.
sleeping in my fucking class.
Yeah.
But the teachers they didn't tell me anything. It's almost as if they were incentivized to not like push the kids to try better.
Or they know that they're working in a system where it won't matter because people lose hope, you know?
Damn, that sucks.
It does suck.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sad. You have literally 4,000 kids, and it's just too much to care about. There was a teacher that literally
Like
every
that
day-
one at Schur's where I'm like, oh, she's actually, the one is actually teaching.
I'm
This
trying
one's
to
actually-
think. I'm trying to think if there was somebody that actually cared hard like that at Morton, and I'm sure there
it's a
has to be.
huge
It's a
school,
big
there
school.
has to
I didn't.
be.
I didn't have. Again, I was there. I was there 2 years. I only had 8 teachers because I only took 4 classes a year.
Oh my God. That's so
It's crazy because like the classes were like
That's
an
crazy.
hour long blocks, and
just to fill the day.
well, here's the thing.
filling the
I
day.
have not anymore, but I have felt jealous at times of people who have parents that have the ability or the stability to be involved in their
or the know-how.
or that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't blame my parents, but
No, for
it's
sure
just
not.
like
They're all, yeah. Go ahead.
they did their best, I guess, with what they knew.
Definitely.
Because in Mexico,
especially your
that's probably
parents, they were
them.
working all the time. But that time
Yeah.
they had the store, and
Yeah.
that's a 24-hour gig, basically. Like it's not. I'm exaggerating. But it is a full day.
Yeah.
When did you open in the morning? That
7.
means they started earlier because if they had to go grab merchandise or whatever, they had to start early.
Yeah.
And then when you all closed around 9 or something,
My dad
crazy
then,
like that.
then after that, my dad went to work the bar.
At the bar. Yeah. So for him, it was very close. It was like a long day.
My
And
dad was
your mom,
working
too.
20-hour days, man. And I remember he would come.
Yeah.
He would come take a nap at around 2 p.m.
La
every
siesta.
day. Yeah,
Oof,
he'd
that's
come
not
take
a
a little
life.
nap. Yeah,
I'm
that
sure he
sucks. I can see why.
liked the life, but
I can see why something broke, and he's like, "Fuck!
what am I doing this all
dude."
for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing about, okay, so so you start looking at other things and wait, but they're not working as hard as me, but yet they're making more money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
dude, what the fuck?
Man, that jealousy is insidious.
Yeah,
Okay, so here's my thought about that for just basic friend level, right? Like I don't feel the jealousy anymore because I've come to understand about that. Like wanting what others have is a lost pursuit. Like that's
Is
not what
that-
I want anyway. I don't
well-
want your life.
I think we've talked
So then
about this. So hold on, like jealousy. It means, what does it mean?
This is what you want with what others have.
But does it also mean that you don't want them to have it?
Well,
you
that's the
want
thing.
to have it.
That's what I question because if you really dig deep into that emotion, what I think, this is just my thought process. Don't, who knows what that is, but the reason I'm not tied to that doesn't mean you don't feel it. But even if I do, I'm like, oh wait, good for them. Like I've gotten used to saying, yes, have that, you and more. Good for
Yeah.
you. Because ultimately, I'm never going to make those decisions that got me in lieu of like winning the lottery. I didn't actually do anything they did in their life to get to that place. So why would I want that? That's not me.
Right.
That doesn't their choices. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's
It
crazy.
would be like me being jealous of you having a relationship right now and I don't. I'm happy for you. Like why? Like you're.
I'm
back
jealous
to
that you don't. I'm
Leslie.
jealous that you don't have a I'm jealous of
I
you.
have to call that guy.
What am I trying to say here? Damn it! I had a joke there, but I couldn't figure out how to say it.
I ruined it.
I'm jealous of you not having a. I'm jealous
You are.
of not being in a relationship. There's,
no.
you know what I'm trying to
see
joke
jealousy. What the lesson there
here.
is.
The grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah, the lesson is that jealousy, like sticking with jealousy, is too complex. If we want a simple life, get rid of it. Who cares? But I think that has to be natural tendency, right? Like you can use anything as a what's that called? Propulsion, right? Like to go somewhere else.
You can
Deep.
like
¿Cómo se
use your
llama?
hatred to drive you and
Yes,
shit.
like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So maybe jealousy works to that extent.
My whole life, dude. My whole life, I had people telling me that people are jealous of us, of our
of
family.
you.
of our family.
Your people,
Yeah.
like you, sister,
Yeah.
mom, and dad. Okay.
For some reason. I mean, I think it's because of like my parents' success in the business, in like the grocery store and all that stuff.
I think that's such a like
But here's what I think.
lazy emotion.
Yes. I don't think anyone, I never felt it. I never felt any of that for real. And what am I trying to say here? It's like I never understood what the hell that even meant, because I just couldn't relate with like, you can't have that. You know, so when people told me, "Oh, watch out, because there's people that are out there to get you." There's people that are envidiosos, is what they say. It's envious. So envious is probably different than jealous, right?
Probably, where maybe they don't want you to have it.
So that's probably what it means to be envious. Then when you take it that other step, so it's like I never understood it
difference
until I think. Well, there was one occasion where I got into a fight with. And I was accused of me thinking that they're jealous of me. And I remember telling them, hey, just because of whatever in your life doesn't mean that you're better, that you should think you're better than them, or that they're jealous of you.
Yeah. I got a little confused though. Hold on. Say that again. You got accused of what? That's why I'm laughing, because
I was saying
went here and
I was thinking that they're jealous of me.
Okay, they were like, you think?
Yeah.
I think I got it.
And in my head, I was just like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like you at all either.
Why would I feel that? I mean, it's because I understand why they would think that I think that. It's because I was a little shit when I was a teenager. You know.
You mean like, what does that mean?
What does it mean to be a little shit?
Yeah, as a teenager. Like, does that mean you didn't care what you were thinking of yourself too much, or what? What would that mean?
Let's see.
Like, you just did whatever you wanted, or?
Probably, that was part of it. I did whatever I wanted, said whatever I wanted.
Got it.
And maybe it was like, maybe people felt that I was throwing it in their faces. That I did whatever. I don't know.
But
So they told me this, and I was just like, that's weird. Why would I ever think that of anybody? Because I never thought of myself as being better than others.
I know. No,
I never did.
You don't. No.
And even though I am.
Okay, I think we got it. Por eso.
Yeah, because of the sarcasm, which has already gotten me into trouble recently. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, but I'm laughing about it because I know you're joking. I get it.
Yeah.
But even though there's probably a truth to that, because we're all selfish initially, right? All of us. None of us are immune. And I think it's a practice to think of others. And, you know, there's like a muscle memory there. There's a muscle there that can be exercised so that you are more aware of others, or more aware of what you're bringing to that person's life.
Yeah.
Like what you say will affect others.
Yeah.
Whether you care or not, that's a different thing. Caring about it is different than knowing what you say will affect others, and it's going to land a certain way that you have no control over. So there's a mastery in your words that if you choose to, you can get better, so that you can, for yourself, so that you're communicating clearly for you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so that you don't
misunderstandings.
You're making people have misunderstandings of you by you not.
Well, you can only take it so far, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like being clear with your words, there's a good exercise up to a certain point. Because then if you're dealing with someone who has jealousy tendencies, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You can't. You can only be impeccable with your own, stuff.
Yeah, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And the jealousy thing really is, I think it is a huge part of the culture. I think like Hispanic people be hating on each other so much.
Yeah, I try not to get in there. Okay, so here's the thing, to your point. What I always like, I've heard this in passing, and I think it's just part of like the thought process when you're trying to process it in I don't know if it's culture, family, human, whatever, but there's like maybe they're jealous of you. Have you ever had that advice when you're venting?
Well, that's what
I don't
I'm
like
saying.
that. I'm like, no, hold on. Just dismiss that. That's like a secondary emotion. Something's going on. Because a lot of times it's a misunderstanding. Maybe that person was hurt. If that's a jealous person, or somebody that's insecure, that's a whole other thing. But dealing with regular us, Right?
That can't be.
Like,
There's
if
no
you're
way.
upset, I'm
Yeah.
not thinking it's because you're jealous, of me.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I would never think that.
But then you accept it as an option when you're venting with someone. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I no longer accept it. Where if somebody's like, oh, but maybe they're jealous of you. No, I'm like, no, I don't want to. Let's get to the real thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I can tell you this. I know for real, eventually I learned that there are fucking haters out there that really just want to see you burn, man. And
but you stay away from them.
Well, I couldn't for a while because of the bar situation.
Oh.
And it was just the weirdest thing because, again, that's when I learned what it meant for people to be jealous. It's like there's this real evil fucking force that, I mean, I don't want to call it that, but there's like you sense it in these people. They have that. They make that. And it's like, oh, you want to destroy us just because you're mad at your own situation in your life.
I hear you.
Yeah. And that's when I realized
Oof.
oh shit. Like with certain circles of people, like, oh, your life sucks. And you want other people to be down there.
Yeah. I don't think it's a choice that's that conscious. I don't think I hear what you're saying now.
Sometimes it's conscious, man. There's some evil fucking people in the world.
No, but what I mean is that I don't think somebody looks in the mirror as like, my life sucks, so I'm going to make sure other people's life sucks. I think they're just living in a state of my life sucks, and that's what's going to come out.
Probably.
Because I want to believe, I don't know if this is true, but in lieu of like a mental illness or something, I do want to believe that when somebody says something that's hurtful because they're hurting, it's not so much about you, it's more about them. When somebody comes to you for advice, if you're having a bad day, you're likely going to give them some bad advice.
Probably, yeah, that can.
And it has nothing to do with who you are. Like on another day, you might have been more present, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And
I think we're too hard on. I think jealousy's that way too.
Like we expect too much of people to be too conscious.
Yeah.
Of things like that.
Why were we expecting perfection? And that goes to when you're, this is why I think you should be happy for Leslie. Because them having a relationship, it's like you need to have a heart-to-heart with your cousin. And maybe you need to be reassured.
Don't let her take you away from me.
Don't let her take you. I love you. Yeah. What would you say?
Nothing, because it's not that serious. I just
Except
like
now
to
I know
play
about
into
it.
Yeah.
It's a dumb example. But it's that the feeling is still there, right? Like there's some deeper jealousy. I wouldn't
say it's real jealousy.
It is real, but there's different degrees.
Yeah, for sure. This is more just like...
What do you mean you're going out with him?
Yeah.
Right, that's what you're experiencing. And then there's another one where there are certain situations where, for example, if I go out with a certain group in our family and I forget to invite the one person or the whomever, right? I honestly don't even think. Or somebody's like, if I know like you guys went and had a good time, I'm happy for you. I'm not thinking, why didn't they include me?
I think that all the time.
Yeah, well, why though? Who cares?
Just kidding. No,
I went serious.
Yeah.
But that's like the base. That's jealousy, right? In and of itself. Like you're like, well, you could have said, hey, can I go?
I would have said no, but still, I want you to invite me. One of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe we can allow ourselves to have lives that aren't always about you.
Yeah, and that's what it is at the end of the day.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so jealousy is like just a very selfish. It is 100% just about you.
It's a little selfish, yeah. Or it's an insecurity thing.
It's an insecurity thing.
I think when it comes to like a romantic relationship, that probably feels more raw, right?
Yeah,
because it's a more intimate relationship.
Those are the crazy ones to me, man. Yeah. I would never feel jealous of like my girl hanging out with somebody else.
That's what surprised me.
It's the weirdest fucking thing. I wouldn't care. Like Leslie hangs out with so many people all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm never like, where were you?
Right.
Who were you with?
Yeah. I wouldn't do that either. I'm not
to
a
me,
person that does that.
Romantic jealousy is the last thing on my fucking radar.
Me too.
But
that's unique. I don't know if that's unique, but that's not the only experience. Like people do get jealous. And so one of my past people was definitely a jealous person they weren't aware. And what I wasn't sure if it's because of it happened because of something that happened in their past and now they're jealous. It's very possible.
But it could be like a cultural thing also.
Yes,
like,
it could be
I'm
cultural.
your man.
Yes.
And then,
yes. And I never could tell which one. So the boyfriend I had before this person was not at all. Like at all. Like we each had our own lives. We had our own, like we would come together, but he had relationships with his exes. I had relationships with mine. And it was, the trust was there.
Right. And that's why it's so crazy to me.
And it just was, it felt more open.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
it
at the
felt
beginning.
less stressful.
I always felt that like if I'm ever going to feel any hint of jealousy about my partner hanging out with somebody else, I just wouldn't be with that person.
That's what I was thinking.
To me, it's just such a crazy thing.
Shouldn't you want to trust them?
If you don't trust them, why are you with them?
I feel that way too.
That's the craziest fucking thing.
So then with this person that was the jealous, this is what I couldn't figure out. And we ended up not making it.
Womp womp.
This is the story of my life.
And so we broke up.
Spoiler alert. On my part, it was still in love. Broken up because of things we were going through, not because of the love, right? So that's why it was so confusing, because there was like no way to tell this person the fact like that. No, this is not, or whatever problems we have. But the jealousy part threw me off, because there would be moments where this person would get offended, and it was not even. I had like a blinders on.
Well, because it's
like,
just
I was
not
like, wait,
in you.
You're mad
to
about
feel
this?
That. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
right. So then there was like this learning curve with him where I don't think I could ever figure it out, which clearly, I mean, if you love someone, you're not wanting to hurt them. So the person that's causing the jealousy, in my case, it was me, but I was like, but I'm not,
like,
I love you. I
gotta
don't want to hurt
here.
you.
I gotta get out.
That's not what this is.
Yeah.
But it was like, there's, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel good. Like this is retrospect. I'm like, obviously I wasn't, maybe, I don't know what that person is for the jealous types to get together. My bad. That would.
I'll never forgive you for that.
Not to.
Yeah.
Just
no.
fidgeting.
It's the weirdest. I could never, if I'm ever feeling any sort of jealousy for who you're hanging out with, I'm just not gonna be dating you. And it's as simple as that to me, because there has to be trust.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing that I've noticed in fucking Hispanics, by the way.
Yes, tell me. This person
Hispanic women in particular also.
Well, no, mine was a guy.
In my experience, it can only be women.
It was a man.
So, well, he's a fucking.
But anyway, go ahead.
Just kidding.
We can go down that road. It's just gonna be back and forth forever. Go ahead.
Some people think that you should be jealous of your partner.
Yes, I was going to tell you that.
And I was like, no.
Somebody in this person's circle. Okay, somebody in this person's circle. I ended up speaking with them, and I didn't go in there deep with them like you and I are now. It wasn't the place. But they said, I think in a relationship, you need jealousy, because otherwise that's a sign that you're not attracted to them, which is not the case for me at all.
Toxic.
Right?
So gross, dude. That's just like icky. What do you mean?
What is that? I think, but that here's the thing. That was true for them. Like 1,000%. And I honestly, it was like threw me off a little bit, and it was very raw, that conversation. So I was like, yeah, maybe, I don't know, like something I said, some dumb thing like that really wasn't, it was in passing. It was later that I just kept thinking about it because of that. Because I'm like, I can't think about what they're thinking or this person that I broke up with. But I can think for myself, like what it is for me. Yeah. And I kept coming back to, but no way. I fully love this person. It was not jealous.
Yeah. At all.
Like, I just loved it. Like that. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't the,
it's so, I wonder.
It was different. But I feel like we were speaking in that regard. I was speaking we're coming from like two very different places where they were never going to understand.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Where does that come from?
I don't know.
Like, who,
we need a jealous person to come in here and explain it. Yeah. I was expected to follow certain, like I remember him saying, but anybody would get mad at this. And I'm like, no,
I don't think so.
You know how I am super in that regard. I'm like being not like innocent in that way. I want to say mensa, but I'm not a mensa. What it was like, I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah. But see, it's funny because I like to
funny.
I like to do. Well, I think me and Leslie both make this joke.
Yeah.
Whenever she comes home, whatever, and she's telling me about her client that she was tattooing and stuff. She's like, "Oh yeah, he was this, and he was telling me that." And even if it's a girl, it's like, "Oh, she was telling me this, and oh, and she was very nice, this and that." And then I just like to be like, "So what? You're like gonna marry her or what?" You know.
But see, I'm laughing because I know you, and that's a funny joke.
And but she does the same thing. That's, you know, cute. Like whenever I tell her, "Oh, I had this passenger, he was so fucking cool," or "She was so fucking cool." Well, Leslie, I think she feels a little more. She has a bit of that, like, yeah, it's normal to be a little jealous.
Yeah,
you know?
we'll have to talk to her about
for
that.
sure.
But I recognize that. I think sorry,
you're gonna destroy our equipment.
I'll just get another foamy thing.
No, so like. I think like I could talk to her about like we're watching that Korean dating show that I told you about, and like I'm always like, it's funny because I'll be like, what the fuck, dude? Like if I will say something like, that guy is too good looking, that's so crazy, she won't blink an eye, you know. But if I say, damn, that girl's pretty cute actually, yeah I get the look like, you're getting too comfortable with me right now.
I'm enjoying this because now that I've gotten to know Leslie, I mean, she's just such a strength. Like she's just, you know, it's so unlike, not what I would imagine.
Yeah, but did you see me climb the tube in the ceiling? She can't do that. So who's the stronger one? Who's the strength?
I didn't think you were gonna go there. Okay, yeah. Now you're jealous of her strength. She's a professional bodybuilder.
That's all I can do to. She's not a bodybuilder. She's a power lifter.
Power lifter? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Leslie. I just don't know.
Yeah, that's how that's how I can not feel insecure. It's like, oh yeah, but can you do this?
So you
start climbing.
You are climbing the ceiling like a monkey.
Yeah.
In order to save face.
Yeah.
With your power lifter girlfriend.
Yeah, like, babe, look.
It's really badass.
Look, babe. Look, babe.
That is for self-preservation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No. We just do dumb things in relationships.
But that's the joke, I guess.
It is.
That's funny. The joke. The joke is that there's no way I could ever be jealous. No. And that's why she would make a joke like that too. Like if I'm talking about a passenger, it's like, what? So you're gonna marry her now or what? Yeah. You know.
Well, I learned this with my divorce. I feel like we're just like
let's play a game. Take a shot every time marry.
Because I could have been jealous, and I was given a choice, right? Like, but to go back and continue, and I'm like, yeah, no. The thing is, I don't want this life. I don't want to have to be wondering where this person is or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not what I want. Oh, there he is. Like I don't want to have to. Like if the person if they're not trustworthy, it's not someone I'm going to be with. That's not going to be a good fit for me. You know? Yeah. I don't want to be checking people's phone. I have enough going on. I'm not checking. I have a full-time everything. Like I don't need to be wondering. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not a partnership anyway.
Right.
No.
But that's what you're saying, right? You would be wondering if you would be in a position, if you were in a relationship like that, you would be put in a position where you kind of have to be wondering, right? Because I guess there's kind of like damn, well, they already did this once.
Yes. You can break that trust for sure. Like that when that trust is broken, that's different. But that didn't happen with this person. We were, in fact, the funny thing is, that was a worry, but really, it's so funny because the ironic part of that relationship with this person who had some jealous tendencies, he said he wasn't normally jealous, but obviously
it's because he liked you so much. He's never liked anybody as much as you.
Isn't that what they say? The toxic memes of the toxic relationship. Yeah. I'm not going to define it as anything other than we're talking about the jealousy part. So like I was never like whenever I had free time, I was just a regular girlfriend. Oh, what are we doing? Okay, let me check with him first, because then we have limited time. So what do? You check when your person's busy or not. Yeah, for sure. So, and since when we broke up, I've not been with anyone else. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? So the funny thing is there was truly like no evidence as to why he would be jealous
of you.
But he was.
You see, yeah, that's funny because if
not
he,
of me.
if he had,
however you say that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm
so
not
if he
good with
knew,
right.
so funny. Like that's part of the crazy part. When a person is jealous, that feeling, you're doing it to yourself. Really,
yeah.
You're not. It has nothing to do with
you're making up a story.
You are, unless you have evidence. You're really doing it to yourself. So even if we take it back to like the advice we get, or not advice, but it's that thing, where you're, hi, this happened, and why did they say this to me? And the person's giving you what if they're jealous?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
But
and to even like get in there and give it any credence is wasting your time.
Sometimes it makes sense. No, like I will say, like sometimes it makes sense. Like, yeah, sometimes people are jealous of you. And I mean, I'm saying just because I don't know if you've ever been in a position where people are jealous of you. And
so cute.
And I don't even think they were jealous of me. I think they were jealous of my dad, and I was just a part of my dad's life. So that's where I got it, like at the bar. Like
I mean, we're saying it just in general terms here. So later we'll ask him family. We're going to ask him details, but I'm not going to ask you here. But I have a feeling I don't know the full story.
Well, I mean, it's just people trying to sabotage the bar, like people trying to actually, I don't know, just go in there and start destroying shit and threaten you,
That is
like threaten your life. When I see this person, I'm gonna this and that. Like that's real jealousy.
That is
like I never experienced jealousy until that. Like when you experience that, that's when you're
dangerous.
like, oh, jealousy.
That's jealousy.
It's as clear as fucking. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question there.
Yeah, I've not experienced that level of jealousy.
Yeah. That's the only time. I think that's the only time I have experienced jealousy.
That's hardcore. Right?
Yeah, that's like real.
If jealousy were on the spectrum, right? Like, or like on a scale, not spectrum, rather. Sorry.
I got excited when you said spectrum.
It's the wrong thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, you hit like a 15, right? With that situation.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say 10 to not exaggerate 10. So then a relationship like what I experienced with this person, I would have to tell you more than you can tell me, but there's like a scale, right? Where there's something maybe like a Leslie's a safe scale. Thank you, Leslie.
2. Probably
2.
3, maybe. 3. Used to be a 4, but we calmed it down a little bit.
Yeah.
We worked through it.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything, Leslie. Okay. I don't know.
It's okay. She's a Latina. She's Hispanic. That's how it goes.
So you think it's okay? So
it's 100%. It's a Hispanic thing. It's a Hispanic thing. Hispanic.
You're not the first person to mention this, and that's why I'm asking. Because I wonder how much the culture, it's like that expectation of ¿Cómo es que estás? Like, how are you talking to somebody else?
You're mine.
Yeah.
Like that
you know what happened one time with this person, this is another thing, like I had no idea. And I haven't dated like a Hispanic guy. Like this guy's from Mexico, like in ages.
Yeah, you should stick to black guys.
Dancing.
Black guys are probably a lot cooler.
So then we were dancing, and then later I felt bad because I knew,
he got upset.
This hurt him, but I didn't mean to. Here's what happened: we were all at this piano bar, and we were like dancing in our seats, basically all of us. Like and there was this table that was right in front of me, and all of them were like dancing, and the songs that they knew I happened to know. So every time that song would come on, I would look at my people and I'd be like, "Hey," like a fool. But that's what you do at a piano bar. And then you turn around, and then these guys too. And there was a group of them, and there was a guy that all of a sudden he put his hand out like to dance, and I'm like, yeah, not thinking. All right, you as a Hispanic, I'm not going to tell you what happened after. You know me. Am I malicious like that?
Yes, you're evil.
Okay.
You wanted to make him jealous so that he can want you even more.
I think that's what happened. That's the perception.
Yeah.
And when I finished, then the guy was like, he was like, another one? And I said, no, because I'm like, one's enough. Like, that's it. And I turned around, and the look on his face was like, I could tell something happened. And I was like, really? Like, but I promise you, Emmy, nothing. In fact, with the boyfriend before, the same thing happened, and he didn't dance so much. So I remember one time going to a place and I wanted to dance. So I just went into a group and I danced with some people, and then that was it. But it wasn't like,
yeah, because he's normal.
Like I'm with him, like that. You know what I mean? Like no reason to anything. So I didn't even think. But I definitely offended this guy. Like, and I didn't like it after. I felt horrible, not because of my intention, but because of what I know I made him suffer.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I feel like, I feel bad, but it wasn't because I intended to put him down or disrespect him at all. Yeah. I was having a good time. Like I didn't think about it.
Yeah. As weird as we think it is to think like that.
Yeah.
Part of me, like just to play devil's advocate, I guess, it's like everybody has their ideals, their morals, their virtues even, right?
Yeah.
Is that, would that count? And maybe that is one of their like important things.
For sure.
And but again, definitely. I think it's more
and
about...
that's okay for him to have. Like, I'm not saying that it either of us were wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you're like, that we're just not we're not.
Oh, definitely.
Our things don't align, so we cannot fucking be together. Or
it's either that's when you're like, well, I just need to, I can't, how much do I care about this person? Like those are the concessions you make sometimes for people once you know, right? But I don't know if I'm not sure I'm that level of expert where I can be perfect in that way.
If you had to pick,
I can't, you know what I mean? It was a confusing thing to navigate because I'm normally not like that. So then you probably have more of that because I don't have that many guy Hispanic people that will be like, no, your girl can't do this, your girl can't do that. Like I don't have any of that at all. Like at all. I don't have that on my radar. You probably do. Because of how you grew up, right?
Well, it's funny because I hear the other thing around. I hear my girl doesn't let me do this. My girl doesn't want me to do that. I can't do this because my girl will get mad. And they're Hispanic girls.
That's so funny. So maybe it goes both ways then, right?
Yeah.
But where? What is that? Like, where does that come from?
Well, we come from a time, not a time. We come from a place where you used to murder. You used to murder children, take their hearts out and sacrifice it to the gods. Oh, that part of the, that rage is still inside, I think.
You know what I thought you were going to say? That wasn't expected. I thought you were going to say we come from a place where, and remember the rivalry between San Miguel and San Jose? Did I talk to you about that? Where my uncle said that they would get like kicked out of the town when they were trying to date the girls.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you mix those two groups of people, you just make the most beautiful children ever.
And they're like, yes, that's true.
I've seen like people that it's like when you mix San Miguel and San Jose, I have cousins that are like that. And it's like, my goodness.
Really?
These are the most adorable children I've seen in my life.
Oh, me. Yes.
He's
one of those.
Yeah.
He's so
and he's so fucking cool, dude. So Omar, Mito Yoel's kids.
Yes, and Addie. Well, of course, I love them so much. They're my cousins, but
there's something to mixing that.
I just think that, but there is like a jealousy of town there.
Yeah.
That's not our
We're
people.
The good town.
Yes. Bad. I don't know what that is. Because this is where you and I can't
I don't know anything
speak
about
to
that.
it. We just know the stories behind it. And then my uncles were like,
I didn't even know it was that bad.
70s, right?
I didn't know it was that bad.
They tell the stories. They tell us, Los agarraban a balazos unos.
So
I don't know who.
So let me ask you this.
Now they're friends.
Let me ask you this. If you had to pick, because we were talking about because I mentioned like the whole like everybody has like their virtues and their ideals.
Yeah.
What do you think are your like top 3 things, if you could say?
Virtues, ideals.
That it's like that aligns.
Define a virtue.
Let's Google it.
Oh no. Just tell me what. It doesn't matter. Just for the sake of our conversation, just give me a framework.
I can't. Virtue. Behavior showing high moral standards.
Oh well, that one's pretty easy then. If we're talking about, first of all, I'm not defining it by my own moral standards. The only moral standards for me, I feel like moral standards, this is not for everyone, it's just for me. I define them for myself.
Yeah.
I find it a virtue actually to
not be jealous.
my moral standards on others.
Yeah.
First. So then that already covers a bunch of things. Like I'm not gonna, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like for this person, we were saying his 100% is you don't dance with other men.
But seems so, if I say it, that's what I felt bad about it after, because that's totally an upbringing that I've rejected from San Miguel. Like
it's a Hispanic
you know what I mean?
thing. That's what it is.
What it is. So then, because that's part of where I'm like, no, that's a false sense of virtue. Because what are you doing behind closed doors? Do you know what I mean?
Dancing.
You're just showing to the world. If you as a couple should have that as a standard, why do you have to also show? You know what I mean?
Well, you don't have to show
with
it.
The guy.
You know, that's what I'm saying. That
we were just dancing.
Not something that you show.
And it was a fast-paced song. I think I should say that. Like it wasn't like a romantic song. Oh, no.
What kind of music do they play at piano bars?
White people music. It was a kind
that's
of
what I was gonna
like
say. That just sounds like some
Billy
white
Joel
people shit
and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
like
gross.
Sweet Caroline, those kind of songs. It was those kind of songs. Who's gonna come on? Who flirts with those? Come on.
Do you know how
people
much
flirt with those?
I bet you Billy Joel got so much.
Yeah, but because he. Oh right, but it's a different songs. Thing. Yeah, but that doesn't. Do you have any of that generation, that kind of music that you would ever dedicate to Leslie?
No, I was on the other side of that. I was on the other side of that part of the.
No offense, but we have better songs, and like that's not something you flirt with, is what I'm saying. For us.
Blue Jean baby,
yeah,
Blue Jean. But I mean, that's
it's that kind of music.
But right. that's. What the fuck is?
But that's fun.
He's
and that's,
cool. I like him.
No I know we don't have to know who he is, but I know what you're saying, and that's my point. That music is like cool and fun, but it's not flirty. You know
Some of them is, but like, man, I bet you.
Like if you were in the middle of San Miguel, for example, like if you went, did you ever experience the nightlife over there? Like back, okay, so then we would go there, and I remember if I was dancing in a group, no big deal, but I wouldn't do a slow song. De esas bien like románticas, this is like the
Temerarios and stuff.
Oh, no, not
I
those.
hate Temerarios.
I hate those so much.
Thank you. Don't say that in front of Leslie; she'll murder you.
I will say that.
Your sister loves the Temerarios and the Bukis and shit. I think
just
it's cool.
Bukis are different.
I think it's all the same thing.
No, man.
I'm sorry.
No, Los Temerosos. Oh, no, thank you.
Temerarios.
Ugh.
They had an album.
Sorry, guys. They don't need us to like them.
Do you remember I don't know if you remember, my dad had this giant stereo set with huge speakers, and you could put CDs and cassettes, and it was like a whole bunch of consoles. Yeah, we had it forever.
Downstairs. I don't
know. No, this was in La Sala, actually. So I remember there was this album, De Los Temerarios, and I loved the introduction to it.
Trust me.
Because the introduction, he's like okay.
No, Temerarios, no.
He's being so nice. Look at him.
Because he loves us. Like, he's a cutie.
And
he knows.
He's probably going to freak out when I do this. But there's a CD that starts and it goes... And then the music starts playing. It's like a wolf.
Why?
I just thought that sounded so cool.
You like that? No.
I just like the wolf. The wolf is cool.
I never liked them.
But yeah, it's not my thing. So anyways, yeah.
Let's go back to the cringy moments that you have when you're in a relationship.
That could be like a whole nother episode too. Oh, we tried it, but you were drunk. It didn't work. I think we were talking about music or something.
I was at best tipsy.
Romantic music. We have such good romantic music.
We definitely do.
You know, like
yes, we definitely do.
I'm speaking of like jealousy. Like I'm actually jealous of writers who can write music like that, because I want to write like that so bad. Like I listen to Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
Even other.
You do listen to some
even
stuff.
Other songs, even Spanish musicians. You know, like there's like a bunch of bandas that they have like beautiful romantic songs.
La letra.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I wish I could write like that.
Carl and Ed Maverick and those guys that like they do the new folk music.
No.
Como tipo ranchera pero moderno.
Wow.
No, they're like folksy.
You might
I'm
have
gonna send you
that
some.
to me. Yeah,
they have really good like lyrics that are just, like I don't know.
There's a lot of songs.
I'm gonna hesitate comparing them to an American counterpart because it's so unique, but it's folksy.
Ed Maverick, sings in Spanish.
Well, he's Hispanic. He's I think
his name
Mexican.
is Ed.
I know.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. You gotta ask his parents. I don't know. I just know he's really good. It's
Eduardo.
one of my favorite artists.
Eduardo Maverick.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to him before I forget.
Yeah.
The thing is, no, let me not, because then it's gonna take too long. You don't want to wait for my search.
So
Google it.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs, I think, there has to be that go into like jealousy and stuff, right? In relationships.
I don't think. Well, that's the thing I like about them. The music those guys. I'll have to listen to everything, but it's not so much about that. It's about the everyday feelings you have and the stuff that you're going on. Maybe not. I was thrown aback with this one, and then if we're ever in a family setting or venting, friends, whatever, me personally, where somebody's like floats out the idea, maybe they're just jealous. I'm entertaining it currently because I'm in the process of like, maybe I'm wrong about stuff, but I don't think I'm wrong about this one. I don't think we stay there. I don't think that.
You don't think it serves you well to have that?
Not really.
But also going back to the thing, the reality of some situations is that, some people are jealous. Some people don't want you to succeed.
I hear you. Like a pettiness.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like you tell people your plans. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then straight up, they're like, "Oh, but that's hard. I don't think you could do it because it's not as easy because of this." Like,
don't you think it's more about them? Don't you think it's more about but I don't think they're aware.
But that still is. It's like a jealousy that is. It's not on purpose.
Not on purpose. That's what I think. I think most of it can be explained by, you don't understand, because it's that thing. You give the advice based on the state you're at. Most of us do. Like even though I'm aware of it, so I try not to, but even then I can't help myself. You catch me in a bad day, I can't promise, because I'm not a professional, that I'm going to be fully present and detached when I'm giving you advice.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know what I mean? I would love to, and because I care about you and I wouldn't want to give you bad advice, or I wouldn't want to like steer you away because of my own issues.
A lot of times I think
it happens.
I think a lot of times when I ask for advice, I don't even listen to the advice. I think it's more about me talking it out. I think a lot of times it's more about me wanting to talk it out.
I think that's the best way to process your things when you're a friend, right? That's my personal goal now, because I feel if I want advice, I'll ask for it. So when we're adults, and I don't even do this with kids, but like as an adult, friends, whatever I'm not telling you what to do, right? I don't want to do that if I'm in the conversation. I know I'm the sounding board, and you're fully an adult that you know yourself best. You know what's going to be best for you. I'm here just to listen and talk it out with you. And that's it.
Yeah, guys, like, I don't need to guys do advice. Guys do this thing where when their girl is venting to them, they try to solve the problem. It's like, why don't you do this? Instead of just like, damn, that sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like, and that goes both ways. I think that, but this is a personal preference of mine, right? So I do feel
jealous of me because
because you're so knowledgeable,
so smart and cool.
You are smart and cool.
Thank you. I know,
but I don't need to be that, so I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good.
You're dumb and not cool.
I think that's why people get mad. Okay, because then you're thinking, if this person is, then I'm not. But that's not true.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that was
right.
Good.
That's great.
But what if you say you both can be smart and cool?
Yeah,
like that's what I mean.
Well, there's room for everybody.
There's room. It doesn't take away you having a good day or having something really cool happen to you. Does not take away from my personal worth.
Does it ever happen to you when you see somebody walking down the street so happy? You're like, what the fuck are you smiling about, asshole?
Not recently.
It's happened to me when I'm having a bad day. And I'm like, what the fuck are you smiling at, dude?
I'm more of the...
Don't you know what's happening in the Middle East?
Somebody should be happy.
Yeah. Good for you.
I do that, but it's a practice.
Good for you, buddy.
No, it is a practice.
Yeah.
You can do that, or you can, because it depends on what you want to put out in the world, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've covered jealousy. I think we've realized that we've covered it completely. There's nothing else for anyone else to say about jealousy.
Next week we're gonna do part 2.
No. Next week we're gonna interview. Look at him. Oh, he's sleepy.
We just let him stay. He didn't.
Forever?
He was fine.
Yeah, he's usually like playing with the fucking these things.
He must maybe there's like a vibration here.
I think electronics give off some sort of thing that cats can feel, because they always lay on top of like my phone or the TV remote or whatever.
Well, he doesn't bother me there.
Now not there, but when he was like climbing and playing with the fucking wires and shit, he did good today.
Okay.
I think
right.
he's learned his lesson. Anyways.
Or we're lulling him to sleep.
Yeah.
Because we're so interesting.
Well, no. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening.
I want to end with, I love our family.
I hate them all.
And I love that we can talk about this. And I think we're...
I like that we can
we're all
talk
good
about
people.
this without misconstruing what we say.
We can.
No.
We're not talking about anybody, okay? I'm not talking about anybody in our family. You should know. I love you all. I do. Yeah.
They're not going to listen. I've spoken
right.
to them, and they've literally told me
right.
I'm
You
not
have
going to
time.
listen.
They're too busy.
Well,
really?
I told mi tía Lourdes, and she's like, yes, en inglés, que voy a, entonces, qué chiste. So we lost the listener.
Oh, no, Lourdes.
El próximo episodio lo vamos a hacer completamente traducido. We should do
do that for
voiceover.
her.
What if we voiceover?
If it's funny like the novelas.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, mira cómo está esto. Oh, sí, mira, muy bonito el pastel.
Bonito el pastel.
Have you seen when they dub over like the
horrible.
TV, like when they sell stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's cringy.
There's a video
Oh.
I found on
hurts to hear.
Instagram, and I can't find it anymore, but it's so perfect.
Oh, send it to me.
These girls, I can't find it. These girls are like at Jewel Osco shopping, and the caption was this: talking the way they talk on like in the dubbed home ec channel or whatever. It's like, mira, vamos a comprar un pastel. Oh, sí, mira, muy lindo. Oh, wow.
It's on.
People don't talk like that.
I seen this one show recently that's from Spain, and those are the tough ones for me because I understand that language.
I hate the Spanish, dude.
Déjame decir. No, this is a good show, first of all. And
I
second
don't
of
hate
all,
the Spanish.
they
That's
translated something where it's not correct, and then the context changes, and that bugs me. So I almost prefer to hear like Korean or French or whatever.
Because you know.
No sé qué onda.
Yeah.
So whatever the subtitles say, I'm like, yes, that's what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the Spanish is weird, dude. Spanish translations, they try so hard. There's a whole meme on the internet about that. Like you didn't have to say all of that.
No. Like you could get. I think that they need to evolve where it's.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
not
context.
It's not 1542 or whenever they colonized.
I think right now maybe it's like AI now too, where it's doing the auto translations.
But I heard it could be. Well, let's find out on the next episode about Spanish.
We're
Spanish
not jealous
dubs.
about that anyway. So
I hate. Never mind. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Bye. Hi. I got that on camera. I almost dropped